Phase one of our vacation, canoeing, camping, fishing around East Bearskin Lake in the Boundary Waters canoe area, is wrapping up. And now we're going to work our way down to Wisconsin, where we will continue our pursuit of catching fish. We'll stop in Superior, Wisconsin, do a little bit of sightseeing on the way, and spend the night in Superior, and we'll keep this vacation rolling. We lost half our crew. They opted to spend the rest of their adventure in a hotel somewhere. The campsite for Thursday night. The two of us are still here to do some hiking and some fishing. So we're not fishing. The winds are gusting at over 20 miles an hour right now. So we decided to go moose hunting, or at least moose viewing. We'll see if there's any moose down this trail. It's short, but it's something to do on a windy afternoon. Well, apparently this is where the moose are supposed to be. We don't see any. Maybe they were unable to read the signs. If I were a moose, this is where I would be hanging out. But maybe we're here at the wrong time. Well, we don't see any moose, but it is a pretty walk. And we're out of the wind. Yes, I know, I'm from Florida. Rocks are exciting for me. This is Thursday evening, and the fishing has not been great, but I've really enjoyed just kind of sitting around the campfire on a cold evening and the cold mornings, having breakfast. It's been very relaxing and very enjoyable, and we're enjoying some great scenery. Beautiful lake view. Not another soul in sight. So fishing is great, but we can have a good time even when the fish are not biting. Well, end of the day on Thursday. And this trip has not been perfect. When we started this trip, I didn't know what to expect, so I actually planned out several different itineraries. The most ambitious was 25-mile loop with about 8 portages. Then there's another one where we just did one portage and we base camped further down on Crocodile Lake. And as a last resort, I was going to base camp on East Bearskin Lake, just depending on the weather. And in the back of my head, I had the idea that, well, maybe if things really don't go well, we can go for a nice hike. Well, it turns out that the wind is not been cooperating. We were afraid of being windbound down on the lake somewhere, not being able to get back. So we came back early on Thursday. And it's a good thing we did, because the winds after lunch were just gusting at 20 plus miles per hour, and they're still really strong. We were hoping to go out fishing tonight, do some night fishing under the moon, because the winds have been dying down in the evening, but they've just been kicking all the way up till now. They're still going. Well, it is getting a little bit interesting. I'm just sitting here listening to the wind blow and the thunder rumble and watching the lightning strikes, waiting to see if we get some rain. Well, I was thinking most of the rain was over, but the wind is kicking up and it's probably just dripping off the trees right now. It's been pretty loud. I did manage to doze off for a few minutes, but it just keeps coming. So far my tent is mostly dry. I left my shoes outside. I forgot about that. It was only like a 5% chance of rain today. So I left my shoes outside the tent and one of them got wet. but it'll dry pretty quickly tomorrow. And we'll see what the rest of the night holds. Well, it's a beautiful morning here on East Bearskin Lake, but man, last night was terrible. All the rain, it rained for hours last night, and the wind never died down. And it's supposed to be a 0% chance of rain last night. So I just left my footprint out. You're supposed to put the footprint up underneath the tent so it doesn't collect water. So I've got water coming through the bottom of the tent. The other tent didn't fare very well either. So we're thinking about options to try to get dried out. We have to give up this campsite tonight. We've got to get these tents dried out or we won't have a place to sleep tonight. So we're thinking through options, but our vacation isn't over. There is more to come. So we may pack up and start heading towards our next destination. Maybe stop off at a hotel and get everything dried out and kind of see where we go from there. So stay tuned. Phase 2 of the vacation is coming up. We left Superior National Forest this morning and went to Grand Marais in Minnesota. We had breakfast, a really good breakfast at the Blue Water Cafe. And we made our way down to Superior, Wisconsin. And we're going to spend the day here kind of exploring Superior, see what we see. This is a big lake. We drove about 100 miles from Grand Marais down to Superior. And we were following the north shore of Lake Superior the entire way. But it is something to be called a lake, let me tell you. It looks like an ocean. But right now we are at the lighthouse and we're going to walk out to the lighthouse. Pretty good sized waves to lift these trees up here. We're probably 15 feet above the water surface here. That's a big tree. Oh, we made it. Of course, people have to put graffiti all over everything and ruin it for the rest of us. Give a walk around. Take a look at the view. Sailboat coming through. That's the north shore of Lake Superior in Superior, Wisconsin. We'll walk along the beach for a few minutes. Hopefully you can see, but the water's crystal clear here. Head back to the car. Say hello to the seagull. Hey, seagull. Not very friendly in these parts. Got some cool driftwood all along the beach here. Well, we found a parking area, so we've got camping stuff spread out to dry from the storms we had last night. There's no way to stay dry, you know, with obviously the rain flies are going to get wet, ground sheets are going to get wet, and then there's going to be a lot of condensation inside the tents. Then it gets on the sleeping bags and the air mattresses, so you just have to take time to dry things out. Just part of the process. I will say that once you get out of the wind and you get past lunchtime, it's pretty comfortable out here. First time I've had my jacket off all week, I think. Phase 2 of the adventure begins. And we're going to start here at the Garmisch Inn in Garmisch, Wisconsin, near Cable, Wisconsin. Have a bite to eat. All right, so we're inside the lodge here. Beautiful. You know, a few fish on the wall and lake outside. We're at Namaquagan Lake.
I bet.
So we are on the way to the cabin where we will be staying. So we stopped by Dade Lake just to have a look. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's man-made. It actually has this dam. So the dam is not very big to make such a big lake. And it showed the outflow of the dam. There's a little cabin we're staying in the north woods of Wisconsin. I'll get to the inside in a few minutes. First, let me show you the lake. So here's our patio of the cabin and our lake view. Yeah, this is pretty good living. So we're gonna hang out here for a couple of days and get out fishing tomorrow and see if we have any luck. So here's the inside of the cabin. We have a fireplace with a wood insert. A few friends looking over us. And again, from the inside, view of the lake. And there's a small loft upstairs, but got a couple of bedrooms back here. Beautiful little cabin with a kitchen downstairs. We're going to hang out here for a couple days, enjoy life, and if we catch a fish, that'll be a bonus. It's already a good vacation. Cold out, that wind. Well, we spent a couple of nights near Lake Namaquagan in Wisconsin. We were here Saturday night and Sunday night. We fished on Sunday, again very windy. We were hoping to catch a muskie. So we were out muskie fishing and we caught one largemouth bass. It was a little bit small, but we had a good time. And the cabin we stayed in was fantastic. Loved the area. We did see a bald eagle, which is always nice. But we're going to start our trek back to Florida today. It's pushing 5 a.m. on Monday mornings. We're going to hop in the truck and drive for a while, stop and have breakfast. So the adventure continues, but most of the rest of the adventure is going to be driving. About 1,500 miles back to Florida. Okay, well I made it back to Florida. So just for a recap, about 2 weeks ago I left Florida, drove up to Minnesota, about 1,500 miles. I spent a week in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness up in northeast Minnesota, canoeing, camping, and trying to fish. The weather was not good, a lot of wind, so the fishing wasn't great, but I did manage to catch my first walleye. So I guess at some level it's my personal best walleye, since it's the only one I've caught. And then we were going to go hiking for a day, but again the weather, it just kind of stormed, kind of ruined our plans for that day. So we started making our way back towards Florida. We stopped off in Superior, Wisconsin, Did a little bit of hiking out to the lighthouse. Then we made our way down to Lake Namakagon in Wisconsin to do some muskie fishing. I've been muskie fishing twice now and have yet to catch a muskie. But while we were there, I was casting around a spoon and I picked up this monster largemouth bass. Not my personal best. So we spent one full day fishing in Wisconsin, and again the wind was really bad. So we spent some nice nights sitting around the sitting around the fireplace in a nice log cabin. Had a good time, relaxed. Then started the trek back to Florida. So this is my third day on the road, and I just made it back to Florida. So it wasn't the best trip from the perspective of catching fish. I had a great time. I saw some areas I've never seen before. Got some good outdoor sleeping and camping, some camp food. And I really enjoyed myself, and it's something that I want to do again, maybe when I have a little bit more time. And I think I'll go earlier in the summer instead of waiting till fall for the next trip. So we'll see when that happens. It might be a year or two. But for now, this is me signing off from the Florida State Line.